Hey, how's it going? My name is Dan. I used to work at the biggest dealership in the country, and now I teach fine folks like you how not to get fucked when buying a car. Now in this video, I actually want to talk to you about not necessarily saving money on the car, but just a concept of a car manufacturer torturing its employees because they're asking for better working condition. You might be thinking this is crazy. Nope, this is not. Look at this here. Ford has been torturing their employees with an army. You know, why would they, use their own hands to beat someone up, to take somebody off a working line and re-educate them with little help of army? They would take people off the assembly line, people who would be asking for better working conditions. They would take them into a security holding facility. They would torture them, beat them, and often execute them because they were asking for better conditions in the workplace. That's it. Sometimes it wasn't just that. Sometimes it was because those people had different political views than what was good for Ford. Because Ford likes to make money, and if people are asking for better working conditions, guess what? You lose money because you have to pay them more, you have to buy safety equipment, you have to make the workplace a lot safer. That costs money. If you're making cars in Argentina where this has happened, it's a socialistic communist country. All you have to do is ask one of the generals or whoever's in power that week, hey, could you take care of these people? And bam, they're gone. This is crazy because news reports are saying at least 24 people. But when you watch this video here, watch this, it's a lot more. Over 30,000 people have been killed in general. Over 30,000 people. How many of them have been killed just from the Ford manufacturer? Watch this video here.
Justice for these campaigners has taken more than 40 years to arrive. But now a court in Buenos Aires has sentenced 2 former executives at the Ford Motor Company to prison for colluding with the military authorities in power from 1976 to 1983. The former manufacturing director, Pedro Muller, was sentenced to 10 years and security manager Héctor Sevilla to 12 years for passing union organisers' details to the authorities. Among them was Pedro Troiani, one of 25 union organisers who was then detained and tortured at a clandestine centre.
They put hoods on us, they took the handcuffs off and tied us with some wire, pushed us to the ground and subjected us to a whole series of torture, including fake executions. They beat us, kicked us, pushed our faces into the ground.
Pedro and his colleagues were later released, but say many union organisers from other industries they were imprisoned with were not so fortunate.
There were about 30 comrades from another union and only 3 survived. In our group we were 25 and we all survived.
Release from captivity was, however, not the end.
After 1977-78, when they let us out, the suffering continued because we now belonged to a group of people that no one would employ. We were the lepers of that period.
Neither Ford in the United States nor in Argentina has commented on the case. They continue to produce and sell vehicles. But the complainants say they must bear some responsibility for their role during the years of military government. This sign outside the current Ford factory near Buenos Aires, a testimony to their suffering.
In Argentina, according to our opinion, Ford also engage with the military government, authoritarian government, a government who committed serious crimes against humanity for the only purpose of obtaining more profits from the industry.
The accused are old men now. Others allegedly involved have since died. An estimated 30,000 people were kidnapped and killed by the Argentine military authorities in the 1970s and 80s. All the victims are remembered here at this memorial on the banks of the River Plate. The fight for justice in Argentina has been a slow and complicated one, but the persistence of the survivors and the human rights groups that support them is finally, just in time, reaping results. Daniel Schreiner, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
You know what happened to the executives of Ford that were in charge of this whole operation, they get 10 and 12 years of house arrest. They're 80 and 90 fucking years old. They're already under house arrest. What the fuck are they gonna do at 90 years old? Go out and fucking party? What are they gonna do at 80 years old? They're in the house already, considering that their houses is not like a typical Argentinian house. You know, price of $5,000, a painted fucking refrigerator box with a cardboard, with the extra layer of cardboard on top. Hell no. These motherfuckers are multi-millionaires. And when they say house arrest, it should have been said mansion arrest. Mentioned. They're under mansion arrest. They can have anything that they want brought to them. They don't even need to leave their fucking house. And this is Argentina. Do you think if they wanted to sneak out for whatever reason they couldn't? Are you fucking serious? They're not under some ghetto-ass house arrest like you might be thinking of. Hell no. These guys are multimillionaires. They can still do whatever the fuck they were doing previously. Are you serious? What would happen in America if somebody murdered or was in this situation? Was in charge of torturing people? They wouldn't be under house arrest, but in Argentina, because you can bribe people very easily, they're under house arrest. Are you fucking kidding me? But wait, there is more. Volkswagen did the exact same goddamn thing. Exactly the same. So this is how it would go down. Armed people, aka just soldiers, would come to the assembly line, pick out the person that they were gonna arrest and torture and re-educate, take him to the holding facility that was on Ford's property. It was Ford's security area. Ford owned everything. Ford was in charge of this whole operation. They provided the names, they provided the personal information and addresses for those people, they provided the facility where all this is gonna happen, and then after a person was taken, tortured, they would get fired, and then they would get blacklisted if they survived, if they were lucky enough to be alive after months and months and months and after years of being in prison, being tortured. I mean, if you survive and you get out, you're on a blacklist. That means you can't get a job anywhere. If God forbid you still have your arms and legs still functioning, I don't know if you know, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, getting shot, you know, in that situation, I think would be better than, you know, coming out with no fucking arms or legs, you know, or just coming out alive and not being able to do anything. I mean, shit. So next time you're buying Ford or brand new Volkswagen, just so you know, these are the type of companies you're working with. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up below and click the subscribe button over my head, or watch one of those two videos if you want to see more money saving tips about cars. This is Dan with 60 Minute Car. I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the internet.